Hi, my name is Rebecca Powers with SLCT, and here is what's happening in Sterling and Lancaster. The town clerks would like to remind you that dog licenses are due, and if you don't register before March 31st, late fees will be assessed. The Bigelow Public Library will be holding the event Irish Music and Tales on Wednesday, March 20th at 6:30 p.m. Come listen to Irish music and hear Celtic storytelling by Kate Chadbourne. For more information, call 978-365-4160. The Friends of the Sterling Seniors monthly pancake breakfast will be on March 29th from 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. For more information, call the Senior Center at 978-422-3032. The next Lancaster Garden Club meeting will be on March 17th at 7 p.m. at the First Church of Lancaster. The topic of discussion will be water smart gardening, how to save water and money. For more information, visit www.lancastergardenclub.net.
I'm Lex Thomas, editor of Sterling Meeting House News, and I'm here today with Roseanne Mapp. Roseanne is a long-term and a long-time resident here in Sterling, and we are talking a lot these days about the upcoming election, and this is our municipal election. There are a lot of board positions that are available, and so I thought I'd invite somebody that has a lot of experience with town boards and both the frustrations and the gratifications that come with that. Roseanne, thank you so much for joining me, and
Pleasure
welcome.
to be here. Thank you.
Now, first of all, Roseanne, how long have you lived in Sterling?
I've lived in Sterling for just about 25 years, going on 26 years.
And when did you start to get involved with volunteering onto boards and committees?
When I retired, I had my own shop here in town. And after a while, I decided that, I needed to do something to give back to my community or to make my voice heard. And sitting back and just talking to friends about, things that I didn't particularly care for or didn't understand or something like that wasn't doing the trick. You have to get involved. You have to go to the source. You have to, make your voice heard. Try to make a difference, be it for you or the next person coming down the pike.
Sure.
And I've felt that, our town, although I enjoy living here, like any town in any community, needs some input from its people.
Sure.
And so I got involved probably about, I want to say about 9 or 10 years ago.
So you'd already been here for a while and
Yeah.
got a real feel for the town. Now, at this point, you are impressively on the Economic Development Committee, the Master Plan Committee, the Town Revitalization Committee, and Cultural Council. So this must keep you pretty busy. Why did you choose these things? Because you've got some, obviously there are connectivities here,
Yes,
but
yes.
there are also some real differences. What made you select these?
Well, these particular topics are, like you said, all intertwined, and they're all, connected. I first got on the Economic Development Committee because I was noticing that our downtown area, the village is what I call it, was lacking. It had been deteriorating in my opinion, and so I joined the Economic Development Committee. Through being on the Economic Committee, we have been catalysts for hiring a town planner, the Master Plan Committee. So there's lots of good things that this committee is bringing forward. It's looking at all aspects of the town as far as what do we need to do? Do we need to rezone places so that we can, bring in the type of businesses that we want as a town? And without people's input and everything else, it could go any which way.
Sure.
So in order, from my personal perspective, I'd like to see Sterling remain in the rural town that it is, but you can progress and you can have progress and still maintain that small town atmosphere and the coziness of the town. And so that's how I started, was on the Economic Development Committee. Then I morphed on to the Master Plan Committee and the Town Revitalization and the Cultural Council, because to me, again, they're all intertwined. And it was an avenue which I could, bring my expertise, whatever that may be, to the town for consideration. And so
that's how it all got going. Now, there are a lot of board and committee openings. You can find those all on the town website, and you simply submit an application, and you need to speak with the town clerk, and eventually, if you're selected, and this is a process that can happen really quite quickly, then you have to go in and you swear an oath there, and you need to take
for
a little
both boards
ethics
and committees.
That's right, and there's an ethics test that you take as well. Now, one of the things that you raised is using your expertise, and as you said, whatever that might be. And I think sometimes people are very hesitant to get on these sorts of things because they think, I don't know anything about this. I'm not an expert in economics. I'm not an expert in planning. I'm not an expert in finance or whatever. What's your response to that?
And nor are you supposed to be.
Right.
Nor are you supposed to be. And that shouldn't stop anybody from being on a board or a committee, because there are people in town that do have that expertise and that can guide you along the way, along with the committee that you're on as well as the board. You're not expected to know. You just need to have an open mind to attend meetings and to listen, to formulate information or a decision based on the facts.
Right, and I think that's so important because it's not a matter of being, as I say, an economist to be on this, or a master planner or whatever, but
Absolutely
just to
not.
have the interest. And of course, the purpose of the boards and committees is this represents the people of town. This is something that needs to move in the direction of what people want the town to look like, and I know that's being spoken of a lot. What are some of the challenges?
The challenge is sometimes it's finding the time to actually make it, but it's such an important thing to find that time and to be there, because it is your only means of, not your only means, but a strong element in having your voice heard throughout the town and giving your input. Without us, the town, and our opinions, the town could take a different avenue in which we wanted to do. So to form a better town, we need everybody.
And what are the gratifications?
Is self-gratification mainly. It's feeling like you've done something and you've accomplished something, although sometimes it takes a long time for those accomplishments to come to fruition. But it's a sense of for me, it's a sense of accomplishment. I've done something. I've made my voice heard. I'm not sitting back on the periphery, waiting for things to happen. I'm part of that process. And we need everybody in the town to be part of the process. And I would encourage people to go onto the town website frequently to find out the meetings that are available for you to attend of a particular interest, FinCom, Board of Selectmen, Planning Board, and a myriad of others that all provide wonderful information.
And as well, on the website, there are also minutes of past meetings. So there again, you're not just walking into something cold. You can catch up,
as well as the current agenda.
As well as the current agenda, so you always know what's going on. One point that you raised, and it's so true, is that things move slowly. This is something that I think sometimes astounds people. That you think you're going to go in and something's going to change, even if it really is starting to go in that direction.
We all wish.
We all wish. But it is a long process. And
it is a long process.
But it's also a great way of getting to know people in town. It's how I came to know you. It's how, we interact as well. And I think that's an important thing, too. Because
it's being part of your community. And I think that being part of your community is giving of yourself and learning of others. And what others bring to the table, and conversing and conversation. Just because I have a different viewpoint than you may have doesn't mean that we cannot talk to one another, or that we should not converse. All the more reason. All the more reason, because you might think of something that I never thought of.
Right.
to contemplate about my own thought process.
Sure.
So it's really important to be part of the community and involved.
And of course, with an election, the town election coming up in May, as it happens every year, there are a lot of vacancies. Important also for people to come forward, because a lot of these committees have been together and have been kind of in a static form for a lot of years. And there's so much happening in town now that I think there's really the necessity for some new blood, some new ideas, some new
We have
faces.
so many young families in town that their input is so valuable.
Yes.
Because for a person of my age, I don't encounter the same experiences that they do with a family. My family has grown and not living in Sterling, but again, everybody brings something to the table of value.
Yes, absolutely. Roseanne, thank you so much for all of your work on these committees. I know that I encounter you quite often with committee work, and your input is always so valuable, and just the amount of time and effort that you put into it, and the amount of thought as well. So that's marvelous. And we really do encourage people to go on the town website, find out what's available, and get involved in the town. Thanks for watching, and thanks, Roseanne.
Thanks so much.
We've got elections coming up in the municipalities during May. Here in Sterling, the election is on the 13th of May, which is a Monday. That's a week after the annual town meeting. And one of the things that is really important for community members to consider is not only coming out to vote, but also running for the positions that are available. We've got quite a few positions available here in Sterling. This year you can see them on the town website. They range everything from positions on the Board of Assessors, Board of Health, Board of Selectmen, a constable position, the DPW Board, Library Trustees, Planning Board, the Housing Authority, the Light Board, and School Committee. So there's a lot of opportunity for people to get involved in the community this way. And I'm really pleased today to be talking to our town clerk here in Sterling, Barbara Bartlett. And we are speaking with Barbara because you are the person that somebody comes to if they decide that they want to run for office. So first of all, welcome. Thank you for speaking with me today. So let's say that I want to come in and apply for one of these. I mean, let's take it because I am a library trustee. Let's say, okay, I want to take out papers as a library trustee. What are you going to give me, and what is it that I need to do?
Okay. The first thing I'll give you is a request for nomination papers. Well, you'll put the name as you're registered to vote, which we can look up for you because you might not know if you used your middle name when you signed or initial. Your address, your email and phone number, which will be given to the press. You can leave one of those out or both of those out. You also need to check when you're taking your papers out. You need to decide right then what office you're running for because that will go in your papers. You can't take out papers for library trustee and then say, you know what, actually I want to be a selectman. You have to take out separate papers for that. And then you sign the bottom.
Now, is it possible for people to take out papers for more than one position?
Yes. You can run for more than one position.
Is there a maximum or are there...
I don't think so. There may be, depending on the position, there may be a conflict with other positions.
Right.
But generally speaking, you can hold more than one office.
Very good. Okay. And so now what is this? What else are people going to have to do?
So after you fill out and sign your request, we'll give you nomination papers. Well, you'll need 42 signatures. You should gather more than 42 signatures in case some of them are not registered voters or they registered at the wrong address and didn't realize it and they don't count for some reason. But you need 42 signatures that would count. You have until March 25th to get those back to us. And then your name goes on the ballot. And you also have until April 10th to change your mind. After that point, your name is printed on the ballot.
Okay. And also there's a deadline for taking out papers, which is Thursday, the 21st of March. And all of these deadlines are by 5 p.m., so by the close of the business day. It's interesting getting these signatures because I know when I decided to run for library board, I decided very much at the last minute. I was one of those people that came in just, a day or two before the deadline. And really, I just sort of, not only went to my friends and my neighbors, but it went to some of the businesses here in town that I frequent and saw, friends there. It was amazingly easy, really, to come up with that. I know that it can seem really daunting sometimes for somebody to think they need to come up with 42 names, but it's really not that bad at all.
A lot of the candidates that have brought their papers back already have way more than that.
Exactly.
It doesn't seem too hard.
Right. So there's a lot of information. So when we talk about taking papers out, this is a very literal term. There really are papers that you do get to sign and that you need to fill out before your name will be placed on the ballot. But it's such a marvelous opportunity to get involved in the town. Now, once elected, people come then to take an oath of office with you. Is that correct?
That's right.
Yeah, and that's a very quick process, right? And they can do that at any time.
Yes. Anytime after the election.
It's any time after the office. And then there's also a conflict of interest law and ethics training that is online. I remember that took very, very little time and just runs you through just some of the rules and regulations of being in office. And it's a marvelous service to both the community and to people that have been elected to really clarify where there could be conflicts or problems. So if you're interested in running for a position, and I encourage you to consider it, go onto the town website and see the positions that are available. You'll see how many positions are available and what the term is, whether most of them are 3-year terms. Occasionally it's a 1-year term, and planning board is a 5-year term, but most of them are 3-year positions. And then come and visit Barbara Bartlett and her staff here, the town clerk in Sterling, to literally take out papers. Now you know what that's all about. And bring them back in. Come in by Thursday, March 21st. That's the deadline for taking papers out. March 25th, 5 p.m. is the deadline for taking for returning those papers, and get involved in your town. It's a marvelous time to get involved. Thank you so much, Barbara.
Thank you.
I know you're in for a busy season. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
The Seven Bridge Writers Collaborative is hosting their 5th annual student poetry contest. Grades 1 through 12 from the Neshoba Regional School District can submit their poetry to sevenbridgewriterscollaborative@gmail.com. Poems must be received by March 29th. For more information, visit www.sevenbridge.org. The Sterling Senior Center Armchair Travel Series will be visiting Kruger National Park in South Africa. The presentation will be given by Joyce Hinckley and Bill Ayati, March 21st at 3:30 p.m. For more information, call the Senior Center at 978-422-3032. Discover the Owls of New England at the Thayer Memorial Library on March 19th. Photographer Pete Christoph will present his photos at 6:30 p.m. I'm Rebecca Powers, and that's what's happening.